Hello and welcome to Another Perspective, a podcast hosted by Josh,
Hey.
Cameron,
Howdy.
and yours truly, Alex. We've decided to have a podcast because we're bored, and
Weird but accurate.
it's
Yeah.
accurate, but essentially, you can just put this in the background while you're doing whatever, or you can, have your full attention to this.
It's a podcast. They know how to
it's-
use a
Yeah, dude.
podcast. We'll just go
You
with
guys
that.
know what's going on. You know how this works.
It'll be
You
video,
don't need
it'll
a
be
tutorial.
audio only. It'll be audio only. But
With
you
some
can
fancy
catch this.
visuals.
No.
Sometimes, who
No.
knows?
You can stare at that blank screen if you really want to. We're not stopping you at all.
Yeah, you can catch this on. So far, we've decided on YouTube. It's definite.
Not a BBC
And-
one yet, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we're not putting this on the radio just yet.
No. Maybe next.
Good old.
Maybe,
You know we've made it when we made it on Radio 5, you know?
maybe
like,
next
Yeah.
week.
Maybe in a decade there'll be like a Radio 72 just for us
Bruh.
specifically.
just for us.
That'll be epic.
But we haven't decided any stream.
It's a
platforms
frequency
yet.
you can only pick up the other side of the sun.
No, you can only pick it up on like 18,000 hertz. That's the only way.
Jesus.
The fucking dogs can hear it all the time. Oh, fucking hell.
Make it stop.
They could,
Jesus,
they could
okay.
just hear everything. They'd be like stuck behind like 3 soundproofs, and they're just dying inside.
It's just in the air always.
Yeah. Dogs are great. Actually, are you a cat person or dog person, Josh? What do you think?
Oh, bro, dog person all the way.
Dog
Like,
person?
I like me some cat. Don't get me wrong. I live with 3 cats. Those 3 cats are great.
That's
and
not.
they're very
hold on
lovely.
a minute. I like me some cat.
I do like me some cat, not cat. Very different. Cat, right? So, like, I used to
Reading
think cats were pretty
Festival.
uncaring, but since living with them, I've seen otherwise. But I will always choose a dog simply because, like, they're so much more loyal, and you can play with them, and it's like, it's man's best friend.
That makes sense. Makes
That's
sense.
true. That's true. I mean, see, me personally, I've always been a cat person. Cats. are
Don't you
just-
have a dog?
I'm getting to it.
Have you ever had a cat?
This dog
Alex?
just feels like disappointed all the time.
Okay, I've never
never
had
gonna be
in
good
my
enough.
entire lifetime. I think I've had 2 dogs. Fuck off.
Okay. Okay.
In my
Sorry,
entire
go on.
lifetime, I've had 2 dogs. Fun enough, but I am. So I still consider myself a cat person. I prefer cats, but I like dogs. Okay.
Okay.
Now here's the thing, because
Hang on, Cameron, what's your opinion? What are you, a cat or dog person?
Oh,
Are you
fuck.
cat or dog
Anything
no,
that
no.
has
Cameron
like,
is a
fur.
hamster person. He's
No, I'm
like
not a
fucking-
hamster person. The fuck?
That's a very niche type of person.
Nah, I'm a rabbit person, if anything, man. Like, or birds.
I'm a snake.
Oh, that's
Honestly, between cats and dogs, I also take like zebras, dude.
No,
And
not a
I have
person.
to
I'm just a snake.
fine.
Wow, Alex,
Okay.
outed yourself already.
Yeah.
Nice.
Confirmed.
So, go on, Alex. What
So-
you saying?
When when I first got my dog, which she's called Tasha, by the way, she's a Shih Tzu and she's adorable. She's so fluffy.
Certainly is a
um,
fucking Shih Tzu. What?
And
In summary, fuck your dog, Alex. Like,
what, would you want to
Actually,
get,
I
like,
say that it's so cute. It is a beautiful little thing. Like, it's yappy, but it's beautiful.
Shih Tzus
It's
are good
yappy.
dogs.
it's
yappy.
yappy, but we were in a house and usually
It's lucky.
the what do you call it, the who owns the house,
The homeowner?
Oh,
Or like the landlord?
Yeah.
the landlord, he made it so that pets are not allowed in the house.
All right.
But one day my mom really wanted like a pet or a dog or something, so she
So
asked
she
if
sucked his dick until he. Okay.
Wow.
Sorry. No, go.
We don't condone bribery in a sexual form
Sorry.
here.
That's called a gold digger. Anyway,
Go on.
Whoa. No, it's called a goal getter.
It's called
Um,
employed. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. Go on.
this is my mum.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. Like,
Oh my god.
Keep going, Alex's mom. You got this.
Don't say that.
Maybe I don't feel comfortable talking about this anymore.
Fair enough. We apologize.
No, what were you saying?
So she asked my dad to ask the landlord if we can get like a pet, and he was like, yeah, sure, go for it.
Okay.
So she looked on Facebook for like adverts and dogs, whatever. She drove all the way to London, picked up Tasha, and drove back here. Obviously, doing all the legal requirements. She didn't just steal the fucking dog.
Stolen a dog.
This is mine now. Goodbye.
Just walked into the store, looked at some dogs, and just looked around and just went.
Fucking
I'll
sneak
take
it under
this
your
one
jacket,
and
you know.
yeah.
squander it
Sorry,
with
did
the
she
dog.
get the dog from like someone who was selling it on like Facebook or whatever, or was it
No, I think it was just someone who was selling it on Facebook because I think they had a dog, and then like that dog gave birth to like
yeah,
a
they do
bunch
that.
of little dogs.
Okay. That's
And she
fair.
wants. So she picked up Tasha, and just one day out of fucking nowhere, she just knocks on my door, and in comes this dog on a tiny little pillow, and I'm like, the fuck?
Justy
Like, she
really. Justy
just-
stepped up their game.
Delivering fresh to your door.
Fresh and alive, so you can kill it yourself.
Oh.
As fresh as it gets.
But no, yeah, and now I have, it's great, and now, because usually I'm like terrified of dogs, but now I kind of know how to handle dogs, living with a dog for over a year. I know how to handle dogs.
I mean, Alex, your dog isn't exactly like imposing, is it? It's
Well, they used to
No.
be guard dogs.
But she's the fucking yapping little bitch.
so it's like a decent alarm system at best.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
carbon monoxide alarm. When it stops barking, then there's carbon monoxide. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
No, like as a kid, I was pretty scared of. Like, I love dogs, but I was scared of them because every time I went to my great grandparents' house, my auntie would come over, my auntie Kay, and she worked on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
So she had two white Labradors
Okay.
that were fucking massive. Like, I was a small child, don't get me wrong, and these dogs were above average in size. And Labradors, like as you probably know, are pretty big as it is.
Yeah, they are quite large dogs, so that's.
And they were trained to a T. Like, she would tell them to like sit on a chair that's in another room, and the dog would leave and sit on that chair, and they'd know what was going on. It was terrifying.
She'd go like, yeah, just do a handstand right in that little corner, and the dog would go and just do a handstand.
Do a rolly, put a combat roll right now.
Don't worry, guys. This dog is combat ready.
But like,
It's like a ship military dog.
I don't know about like for your mum and stuff, but like so our first dog, and it was the same for when my girlfriend got her dog. We went to a rescue home to look for our dog. He was the first dog they brought out, and there was just this like snap connection of like, yeah, this is the one. This is the dog that I want. Like, we ran him up and down like their driveway a bit and stuff, and we like, we played with him, and he was so happy to see us
And
that
then
we
he
were
died.
like, bam. After 10 years odd, yeah. But like, he was that, yeah, this is the dog we definitely want. And it was the same with my girlfriend when she got her dog. She went to visit some reason,
Okay.
and she saw these dogs. They were like breeders, and she like basically cried because the dog was so cute. And then she was messaging me. She was like, "Ah, it's too expensive. I can't get it." And then like a few days later, she messaged me like, "I'm going to pick up the dog." What do you mean? She's like, "You let me pay for it monthly. It's mine now."
What? She's got a monthly subscription for it.
A monthly subscription to her dog.
It's like pay as you go.
Jesus.
What the fuck?
I didn't fucking know that it was that bad in 2020. Now you have to pay monthly for dogs.
What if you
It was
stop
no.
paying
It's because it
for
was
it?
brand. It was like
They just come and
pedigree,
take it,
it
it just-
was.
It's branded.
Yeah, no, it's like
Gucci dog.
I imagine now they'll be fucking doing like dog loot crates or whatever.
A new dog every month.
What if you stop paying for it? Does it just run back
I think
home,
it
or-
was. I think it was straight up like 700, 800 quid though.
Oh,
That's the
fuck.
thing. Like, it was expensive.
What's a legend?
because
What,
it was-
what if you got like a legendary dog in a loot crate? What would a legendary?
It's just a
dog
super
be?
rare dog. It's just a wolf, and you real fucked up. Bro, look at my dog. They ain't a dog, dude.
It's a
What do you mean?
shiny
It's
wolf.
8 foot tall. That's what I mean.
It's a wolf, but it's red.
I can ride it.
It pissed up your roof. Like, that's what I mean. But no, like, it's just that I think when it comes to picking up animals, again, I can't speak for your mother, but like, when you see an animal and you have like a little connection with it, you're like, bam, that's the one I want. Like, I'd never turn that down, kind of deal. So maybe it was just that. Maybe your
I
mom.
really hope that fucking EA never makes like Pets 2 for Nintendo DS or some shit. Otherwise,
I just thought.
Nintendo dogs.
For a moment there, I just
Nintendo
thought you meant I hope EA
Reinvented.
doesn't reinvent dogs or something for some reason. I just thought
I too hope EA do not reinvent dogs.
they release Dogs 2. They just
they released Dogs 2, and 20% of the game is free, but 80% of the game is locked behind a paywall.
in this version.
It's
dogs
like your dog can
speak.
eat and shit. To take it out for walks, you've got to get the DLC. And like,
You've got like the entire house to yourself, but you've only unlocked like your bedroom. The rest is locked.
yeah, the dog gets just hits like invisible walls when it gets to the front living room. It just bonks his head on the door every time. It just can't understand why it can't get in there.
It's like a fucking It's like a fucking Bethesda game. It just continuously walks, but like into the wall.
Sliding along like laminated
The
flooring.
dog's like no clipping into the table.
Awful.
Oh my god.
Come here, boy. Its head just pops out, and its body comes afterwards, like a second or so later.
Like, you know when you walk into a table in like Skyrim, and like an NPC's walking to a table, and like it starts walking, and then it starts like jittering everywhere, and then it teleports like behind you.
Your dog's got like a really low ping, like a high ping. Sorry, it just fucking jumps around. Oh man.
You've got someone new in your house, like, did I just see your dog 8 times? No. It was just a little bit behind.
It's just lagging. Leave him alone.
He's just slow.
I imagine whenever you get a neighbor, come to your house, you're like, "Wow, you've unlocked the living room! Excellent job!"
That's it. Middle class, like lower class, middle class, and upper class is now just how many rooms you have in your house, and not in the conventional sense, because you've always had the rooms there. You just couldn't go in them. Bro, you have so much cupboard space. You must be hella well off.
You just have
No, I
walk-in
got
wall-
hacks,
No,
like-
You just have like a walk-in wardrobe that's like as big as a fucking shed.
Jesus, as big as the rest of your house.
Yeah.
Man,
Jeez.
I leveled up my kitchen to max, but my living room's still level 1. It's just like a cupboard next to like a fuck off house.
You've got like one of those
kitchen.
futuristic modern kitchens that has like a touch screen on the desk that like tells you what like the food is that you place on it, and like it gives you recipes in front of you. You can call people like on the wall, shit like that. But it's like you walk into the living room and you've got like a mattress that's got like bugs in it and it's eaten through. You've got a TV from like the 70s, one of the old wooden ones with the dials and shit, which doesn't actually connect anymore because it's got the wrong plug and you couldn't find an adapter for it. Like,
Man.
you have one window which is smashed in.
It's like those 1990s just box TVs.
yeah. It's just nothing works. The walls are kind of crumbling a bit.
Man.
But it's like, yeah, but look at my kitchen.
You guys are just describing my future living conditions.
Ditto, dude. We're gonna be sharing a fucking living room anyways. Let's be real.
It's like Nintendogs mixed with like The Sims, but also made by EA. So it's like really
So the servers
bad.
don't work, and it's all DLC.
The Sims is made by EA. That's whatever. Oh man.
Yeah, but so is
Okay.
Tetris.
Ah, good point.
Is Tetris made by EA?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, no, I
What
think they
the
bought the title a number.
Okay,
of
they
years
bought
ago.
the rights.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Speaking of Tetris, there used to be this game we had on the PlayStation 4, and it was like Tetris Wizards, and it was literally Tetris, but you were building a tower, like a wizard's tower,
Okay.
and you could get like power. It was like a 1v1 thing
Alright.
where you were like racing each other to see who could get like there was several different ones, so who could get the most blocks balanced, who could get the highest, like the fastest, stuff like that. and you could get power-ups that screw over the other person, things like that. It was really, really stupid, but really fun.
Okay.
And it was all Tetris. It was all just one big game of Tetris.
Oh, that sounds. Oh God, sorry about that. My back.
There was a thing I saw recently. Tetris. I think Tetris used to be the #1 best-selling game in the world, right? And I
Yeah.
think recently Minecraft beat that.
Yeah.
So
Minecraft
there was-
I
is
saw this.
literally like the top.
There was a
game.
picture I saw, and then there was this guy who commented on the on it was like Tetris was #1. It was like, wow, humans really love squares, huh? And then Minecraft beat it, and it's like, wow, humans really love squares, huh?
No, we upgraded from squares to cubes. Like,
Yeah.
this is human evolution at work.
Oh, man.
Jeez. You know,
No, bro, we had
humans
a-
are strange sometimes. Like, they can make
All the
sure,
time.
they invented the fucking wheel. Wow, hippity-doo-dah, well done.
But we also got hella squares, and like
We got
squares
hella
beat circles. You
squares.
know what I mean?
But also, humans are just dumb as fuck, right? Like, who starts a
Okay.
war in 1914? I mean, come on, how controversial is
what
that?
you-
How low level is that, man?
Yeah.
1904, like, what?
Like, we should be able, like, us as humans, like, in 100 years, should be able to make a fucking, like, time machine, go back in time and just strangle Hitler.
To be
Okay.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I don't think time machines, like, the problem with time machines is that they like literally screw up everything.
Well,
Because if you change
hmm.
something, like, there's no guarantee that it's.
Yeah, but hold on, there's two counterparts to that. There's the whole, butterfly effect.
Mhm.
And then there's the endgame theory, where it just creates a separate timeline.
Well,
Have you seen Endgame?
yeah, I've seen Endgame, but the thing is that if you didn't like if Hitler didn't exist, right, then like World War II wouldn't have happened, and if World War II didn't happen, then like all the technology, like radio technology and shit, all that stuff, it just wouldn't exist because no one would have developed it.
Most of our advancements in medicine happen around wars.
Yeah.
Specifically World War One and Two, it was blood transfusion and transport.
Yeah.
The idea of adding things to the blood to keep it for longer. Like, the advancement was we had to transfuse blood out of one person and into another the same day, or it coagulated and you couldn't use it. Refrigeration and stuff of that kind of thing made that go to like 2 to 3 days, and that saved so many lives. It was ridiculous. We also had
And like open heart surgery,
Skin-
that was like the first
open heart
thing,
surgery.
That was the first thing like World War II. That.
Yeah,
I think they finally-
there's
I think
that.
they finally
Skin
developed-
grafting as well. That was massive. That was one of the biggest, because when we started having like
Veterans
shrapnel
and stuff
and
in, like,
explosives
World
and
War
stuff,
One,
yeah. Skin grafting is massive, and it's only advanced from now, because now we can. You don't just have to like graft it on in the same way, but you can take the cells, nurture them, then put them back on.
Yeah,
as
like-
opposed to having to fucking elephant man that shit.
If it didn't exist, then I would be like actually buggered. I wouldn't exist at this point. Like,
Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, like people with cleft lips and stuff like that, and like people.
yeah, like, I was
Born
born
with
without
those-
the roof of my mouth, so without like that sort of stuff, I would not exist.
Jeez, yeah, fuck.
I reckon
That's interesting,
I
actually.
reckon
Do you mind-
like
do you mind
that's
if I
around the
ask
time
about
they made
Just what it is. How. What are the complications behind it?
Oh,
I
with
guess?
my face. Alright, so I
Oh
was.
god. Well, you just like came out and then there was just no fucking mouth. Like,
I
where's
looked
this
like-
guy's fucking mouth?
I looked like a fucking like one of those elites
The Predator.
from Halo. You know, they got like the fucking four,
Jesus.
got, like the 4 split mouth. Yeah,
Look like the Predator with like 4 different prehensile
like
jaws.
yeah, like mandibles.
Christ.
No, I basically I didn't have like one nostril. I like from sort of the
no,
top of
he
my
had
lip,
like
so-
6.
Alex, shut up.
I only had one nostril. I sort of had half a nose. I didn't have the roof of my mouth. Half my teeth were in the wrong place. I looked like a fucking mess until I was like 8 years old, basically. So that
Jeez,
was
your parents must have fucking hated you.
what.
Jesus.
Bruh. I mean, I was a bit of a fucking wreck. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, I literally basically when I was like a baby, I had to like eat through a straw and stuff just because I literally didn't have like a working jaw.
Yeah.
I thought
So-
all babies did that anyway.
No.
No,
He
no,
means
I
like
mean,
when an
like-
average baby would go onto solid foods,
Yeah.
he couldn't. He had to
Oh.
stay on like softer.
So obviously I was in and out of the hospital for many years. It affected my social life. I mean, I already had autism, but I also have like, I had like social problems on top of that because I
Yeah,
just-
like because you missed that section.
yeah, I missed like a lot
Yeah.
of that. With junior school and stuff, I was in and out. I had braces by the age of 10, I think. So I had those for 8 years, like literally.
Jeez.
So that was.
Was it worth it though? Like, have you come out now with like good teeth and shit?
Yeah. I mean, I have pretty good teeth compared to a lot of people. Like, some people really like they're not great or anything, but they're also not like my dad never got braces or anything.
Yeah, but
And-
I was actually meant to have braces, but then my teeth just kind of corrected itself, and I was like, oh, cool.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
sometimes they do.
I had an extra tooth in the top of my mouth, so like it's good that they fixed that.
I got me some shark mouth. Like,
Yeah, it was a real
munch,
situation.
munch, bitch.
You're like
But,
one of those like water monsters with like 3 sets of teeth,
like
like
an
something from
angelfish
Monster Hunter or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah, I was a real cretin, but I
Cameron
exist-
the Loch Ness monster.
yeah, I got out of that pretty scot free. So
Yeah, I mean, like, that's an interesting kind of. First of all, the social aspects is quite interesting. The fact that, like, because of that, you missed out on those important, like, early years of socializing.
yeah, I
But,
really I really taught myself how to communicate and sort of especially move my face and stuff through the use of YouTube. Because obviously I've been on that for 10 years or so, and I've had like these face cam videos. And the truth is, that was just me like trying to, figure out how to, how to.
That's actually a really good question. So, in terms of, like, the fact that you weren't born with, like, the fully formed face,
Mhm.
was facial expression something that you had to slowly teach yourself? Because, or is it still natural to you? Like,
No, I still very much have to sort of control what I'm doing with my face, and I especially with sort of.
So you're telling me like if you get like super high or some shit, you just get like your face just crumples in itself?
No, it just stops working. Like if I'm not concentrating what I'm doing, I'm just
I get that.
it just stops working, and like, I'll just if someone surprises me and I'm not really thinking about it, I'll just be like straight face. It's
you,
great. Honestly.
you go slightly white and you go unresponsive, just like in the Windows.
I'm like an NPC. Like I just
This is an error code. You stop and then just continue saying what you were saying before.
yeah, it's pretty weird, but I mean, yeah, like with YouTube and things, it taught me to sort of like move my face appropriately because I always had the camera on. And so, especially now, whenever I do a video, I've got a mirror in front of my face cam, just so that I know what I'm doing effectively.
See,
That's
here's
an
the thing,
interesting
because
thing.
see, I've watched like all of your videos, and especially all the ones with like
Not to
you
sound weird, but
know, no, well,
Yeah,
no, I'm
No,
joking. Sorry.
but,
go on.
It's cool.
and we've definitely face cammed a lot, and I've never noticed anything strange about like your facial features.
That's because whenever we
I've always
voice
thought you were a
chat,
bit
I've got-
expressive.
That's because I've always got Discord open. But the minute I close Discord, I'm just kind
Your
of
face crumbles.
yeah. I just resort back to sort of blank mode. So it's literally half the time I'm looking at half the time I'm like face calling or whatever. I am looking at my own face, and that sounds very vain, but it is generally so that I don't. So
No,
that
it
I
makes
can,
Jesus, how proud of yourself are you? Like,
not very.
Look how pretty that boy is.
It's so I
Like-
can convey proper meaning. It's.
I get that. No, that's like part of my own autism is like my lack of understanding, both showing and reading body language and stuff.
yeah, I
And,
suffer
like-
with that too.
I notice it now, but there are periods of time where if I'm not, it's same as you. Like if I'm not thinking about what I'm doing with my face, I'll just be like frowning at someone for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be like, "I'm so sorry."
Just like
I just
a really,
forgot
really
to react.
angry,
It's like-
resting bitch face.
Yeah, like honestly, it looks like I'm constantly and perpetually just heard bad news. Like,
So that fucking give me a second, bro, I'll laugh any minute meme, you know, the fucking with the no, hang on, that's obscure. Never mind.
Thanks, Cameron. But no, it's interesting to hear, and like, I guess that's another thing. So if you've got to consciously do that anyways, it must be. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, but it must be difficult for you to like know what parts of, like, in terms of, like I just said, like my own autism and the facial interaction, where your differentiation is between what the root of each thing is from each issue, i.e., what comes from your autism and what comes from, in terms of like your facial reactions or recognition or.
Yeah, that's an ongoing problem.
Okay.
Yeah, but surely
okay.
over time you just learn to do it naturally as opposed to like looking in the mirror and going, "Is my face good?"
No.
You know.
No, I've only been taught recently that I've got like the eyes of a serial killer, because sometimes I just kind of, I don't really know how those work entirely. I just kind of hold them open like quite a lot. So
Jeez, I'm just glad you don't hate yourself. Otherwise, if you had to look at yourself every single day in the mirror, you'd.
I think you have to learn. I think you have to learn to deal with it. I know what Alex is
Yeah.
trying to say. If you're one of those people who physically couldn't bear seeing themselves in the mirror, like I go through periods of time where I'm like that. I can't. Looking at myself, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
You look at that and you go, "Who the fuck are you?"
Who you be? But like, but no, I guess I see what Alex is saying. Like, if you struggled, you have. There's a level of
Like, if you
self-confidence
have
you have
really
to have to
bad
constantly be looking at
depression-
yourself in the mirror like that, and it's actually quite impressive.
yeah,
in
like,
that
I feel
sense.
like I feel like I could act these days.
Although-
Like, I
although
feel
it
like I
depends-
could get into acting. Really.
It depends how big the mirror. Because if it's like a little tiny, like 1-inch mirrors, like just his eye, that's fine.
Yeah,
But if
I
it's like a
mean-
fat, massive mirror that shows like everything.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, it's like
That's an interesting. Sorry, that's an interesting point. Like, in terms of the acting, you probably do have like an advantage over other actors because the other actors are trying to access something that they do subconsciously, as in the putting on a face or whatever,
yeah.
reacting to something. That's something they normally do subconsciously, and then they have to try and access that. Whereas for you, it's something that you choose to do. It's conscious thought more so. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting kind of perspective on that.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm not saying like, follow your dreams, be the next fucking, Bruce Willis,
I
but
wish to be honest, but that requires memory, and I do not have much of that.
no, the idea of memorizing scripts terrifies me.
I am so shit with memory. You have no idea. I think at one point when I was doing like my French GCSE, like speaking, I sat in my room for like an hour straight, going through like one sentence, trying to remember the fucking thing. Like, I'm so bad. I don't remember anything in my childhood, like anything, other than just like some bad things and some good things. But like my sister would go up to me and go, "Oh, do you know like this, and that?" And I'd go, "The fuck." I don't fucking know.
I have a weird, like, my memory works really weird. So, like, I will forget really simple stuff.
Yeah.
But then, like, at work the other day, I was stood there in front of some woman. She had only been in once before, and I was stood in front of her and I was chatting. I was like, "Oh, I recognize you. You came in a couple of weeks back." She goes, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, you had like, I think it was scrambled egg and smoked salmon." I was like, "That's what you had, wasn't it?" She was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, sorry, I thought I recognized you earlier." She was like, "You have a really good memory," and I was like, "Thanks." And then I turned around and I was like, "Do I?" Wait, and I think it's if I'm interested or I give a shit, I memorize that shit fucking to a point. Like,
Yeah, but the thing is with me, like, I'd be like thinking about something. I'd be watching like a video. Something would come up and be like, "Oh, I want to Google that quickly," and then I'd be like, "I'll watch the video for like another minute. I'll stop, and I'll just sit there for like 5 minutes straight, going, what the fuck was I gonna Google?" I swear I was about to do something. What the fuck? I'd sit there in silence, my hands on my head, rubbing my temple, going, "What the fuck?" Like, that's how bad my memory is.
man.
I'd forget things in the middle of a fucking sentence, or I'd be talking to someone. I'd want to say something cool, but I won't have time to say it. Like there's no like pause in the conversation, and by the time there's a pause in the conversation, one, I forget the thing, and two, we've gone on to a completely different topic. And I just be there like, I had something cool to say, but fuck it.
Just gonna move.
Whatever.
Oh, you
That
know
was one
what?
of the things I was gonna say for doing the podcast. Actually, we probably wanted like a pen and paper next to us at all times in case that exact thing happens. We can write something down to bring it up. It's probably a
hold
really
on
good idea.
Josh, you are so old-fashioned. Pen and paper, just open fucking notepad and type it.
I have Notepad right in front of me, and I'd still rather use pen and paper.
I think I've got mine open, but it's used for something else. Yeah, fucking changes to my texture pack in Minecraft. Like,
Not to dox you, but whew,
Yike.
You know.
Big fat yike.
hey, let me live. I like Minecraft. Right?
Jeez.
yeah. Well, we all take the piss out of each other for liking Minecraft, but we all play Minecraft. Like, we
Deep
just don't like to
down,
admit it.
That's kind of
Yeah.
the meme at this point. It's just
Yeah.
See,
yeah,
the
I
thing is,
play
I-
Minecraft. Like, you know, that fucking.
See, there was like a period of time where if you went like if you said, "Oh yeah, no, I play Minecraft," people would fucking look at you in disgust.
Oh yeah.
And
I
you'd be
remember
like,
those
"No, I don't
days.
play Minecraft. Ew, what the fuck?" But now you're like, "Yeah, I play Minecraft. It's alright."
And
they're
then
like, "Okay,
everyone's
fair
like,
enough."
Oh yeah. no,
Those days were the funniest because you had everyone look at you like, "Oh my god, you play Minecraft." Now, in our school, I had most of like the quote unquote cool kids and stuff on Xbox, and I can tell you those kids spent fucking hours playing Minecraft.
No,
Like,
I don't think they played Minecraft. I think they
honestly-
played FIFA.
No. Like, yeah,
Halo.
they did play those kinds of things, but like, honestly, a lot of them sat there playing. Like, do you remember? Oh, I don't want to dox anyone. I'm not
Oh
going to name
right,
names.
no, of course not.
But like, there were certain groups that would be like, no, Minecraft's absolutely homosexual, and then it would be like, I'd get home and all of them are on the same world, building, and like I'd jump into the party or something for like 20 minutes. They'd be like, oh yeah, let's make a massive castle, and then they'd spend the next 4 or 5 days making this castle.
Man, I feel
But every
left out
time
of
they
that
came to
now.
school. When they came back to school, it was like, oh my god, you guys play Minecraft. Oh, you cretins. Like, honestly,
What the fuck?
it's so funny. It's really
See,
funny
at
because
that point, all you have to do is just turn around really slowly and dramatically and just look at them and go,
I know.
"So do you?"
So the only difference between us is that we were public about it.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pissed me off. that's actually just broken my brain.
So are you telling me popular people like the guy I got in a fight with in year 8?
No, I don't think that kind of people. I don't think like the proper top of the range popular people. I mean the people
Right.
slightly underneath them.
No, they
You
were
mean-
busy
you
being
mean,
bullied
like-
by their parents for their grades.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
like the kind of people who like the wannabe cool kids.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're the wannabes.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Like
Oh,
the
God.
social construct behind like the nerds and the chads kind of thing is funny.
In every
I've
school,
seen it.
there's always like
Virgins
Every
versus
school
there's
has
always
the
the
same
beta and the
groups.
alpha.
This is it. Every school has the same groups. I went to college, it was the same thing. You had all the nerds sat in one side, you had all the kill kids sat in the other, you had the people in the middle who didn't really care. And like, as we got into college and stuff, it was a little bit more accepted. Like, they interacted more.
Yeah.
And towards like the end of school, even, it was more accepted. Like,
Right, because we just had the Asians and the gays.
Oh, in college.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I know that race sticks with race. I have noticed that. And it actually upsets me a lot because it shows that there is an underlying racist tone
There's
in
no
our like
acceptance
social construct
in
still.
our social environment.
Yeah, and that upsets me because like you know, there's so much diversity out there, yet socially we still put
Well,
ourselves into these little categories.
I mean, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you speak English, you're going to hang out with English people who you understand, and if you speak a different language, of course you're going to hang out with with the
Yeah,
with the people
if,
who
if
speak
you
the
were an
language.
alien,
Oh, in
you
that
wouldn't go to
sense,
fucking
yeah.
Earth.
That's usually like I'd imagine that's the case with a lot of that because I mean
For sure.
I don't know, I'll talk to whoever, you know, I'm not I don't think
Well,
about
that's
it too
it.
much, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
I mean, one of the I take the mick out of Alex for being Romanian all the time. Don't get me wrong, because it's a funny laughing point. But
wow, Josh.
yeah, I know. Sorry, dude. But I was talking to someone the other day. I don't even remember where, but I was talking about Alex, and maybe it was my dad's girlfriend.
Aww.
But I was talking about you, and I was like, one of the most interesting things is like I just love asking you about like Romania, or like even when like your dad gives you like those little fucking pouch
See,
sweets,
that's funny
little
because
chocolate pouch things. I like,
oh,
however
you
much I
mean
take the piss at you for it. The
you mean the
second I get the
pillows,
opportunity, yeah, the little
the
pillow
little filled
things.
pillows? Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
like
Viva.
Crave but Romanian,
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're like crisps. You eat them like crisps. They're
Off-brand
not
Crave.
cereal. Yeah. Alex used to eat them all the time, and I was like, Alex, what are you doing? Why are you eating that? Like, they taste somewhere between Crave and ass. Actually, that's not true. Crave is in between those and ass. Like, but they were. It was listening because I used to have a next door neighbor who was Polish.
All right.
And she was a few years older than us, a year or so older than us.
Mm-hmm.
I lived next to her for 2 years before I even fucking said a single word to her, and she was like kind of attractive. So it got to this point. I just walked up to her. I was like, "Hi, we haven't said a single word to each other. Can I have your number?" And we started chatting and stuff. And
Wow.
every time I got drunk,
Wow,
on
imagine
the
if
way
that was
home,
that simple to just go up to a girl and say, hey,
yeah, I know.
Well, it
I'm
kind of
sorry.
is. I mean,
Weird flex, but
What?
okay.
ah,
It is actually that easy, but because people like talking to people, it's actually like, you know.
everyone
But,
wants to socialize. They're just too afraid to say it.
Exactly. And like yeah, so every time I'd walk back from work,
Mhm.
and get drunk, I would like we'd be texting anyways, and then we went through a period of time of texting almost like every day for a couple of weeks, and we had a good few talking points and stuff, and middle ground and things like that. And I would get like drunk, and then I'd message her, and I'd be like, "Hey, do you want to go for a walk?" She'd be like, "Yeah, cool." So we'd get dressed and stuff, and get coats on and shit for what was winter at the time, so it was fucking freezing cold. She'd always be wearing a dress or something, and I was like, "Why are you like, dude? Just put on some jeans and wear something warm. It's fucking cold."
no. If she's Slavic,
Well, yeah, they're used to the cold, really. Like
Are they?
I'm dating a Polish person at the minute. Like she's, I don't understand how the hell she does it. She's just used to.
Oh, okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Polish people in my family from what I know now. Like my uncle is like, my uncle's wife is Polish. Like,
are you
my
like
mother's-
an eighth Polish or some shit?
No. That's not what I mean.
Your family seems to marry into Polish.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
kind of
It's
lines.
kind of weird, but I don't know. It's just like a massive coincidence.
Yeah.
The
well,
family of Cameron originated in the Slavic regions.
Yeah, but like, so there's this little bench on the canal that we used to go sit by.
Mhm.
I love it on that little bench. It's such a pretty place to sit. And we'd sit there for hours talking. And one of the things that would always come up is like, so we spoke about World War II a lot.
Oh, all right.
I'll explain.
Oh
We
yeah.
spoke about World War II a lot, and we spoke about like what her memories from being back home and stuff.
All right.
And honestly, the things that she said were so weird to me. Like, in terms of compared to our own culture and our own kind of situation and where we live and things, you know, she'd go out, she wouldn't, it kind of like the good old days kind of deal where like her and her friends weren't really watched when they went out. They went and did whatever. There were certain places you just kind of knew not to go near, but you didn't know why.
See, that's what I did as well.
See, yeah, and it's for us. I don't know about you guys.
I had
Cameron
strict
specifically.
parents, man. I wasn't allowed out.
See, like, yeah, going out was like a very specific. Like, I normally went out with my parents, or I was like within view distance of the window or whatever. Like,
Yeah, like, I gotta tell everyone where I am all the time.
yeah, that kind of thing. And they didn't
You have like
that.
a fucking chip inside of you.
Yeah, they fucking tracked me with GPS.
Man.
But yeah, with World War II, that was really interesting because I had my own views on things and stuff. but she had been brought up in the environment where they would talk about it as well, like a lot of old people, stuff like that. So she told me stories from like her grandparents, but more importantly, it was more about like the aftermath, the effect that even now you can see in Poland from that, and what it was. I had some viewpoints and stuff, and she'd be like, actually, that's not how it happened, or actually, that's not true, and I don't know, hearing history from another perspective like that, as well as about the cultural side of things, is amazing. And I wish I could go out and ask more people about their opinion on things. But I
That's fair.
can't because we've got that kind of natural automatic segregation.
Well, no, I think it's more of a, if you go and ask people about their opinion, there'll be people who will be hyper offended.
Some people get offended at asking their opinion, but like, well, not their opinion. But that's honestly, like, that's why
Now you
I
ask
love...
them about the opinion and they just get PTSD.
What I really want, Alex, is another perspective.
Hey, see what you did
boom,
there.
Segues.
Hey. I'm gonna have a look at the topics again, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it. So,
Alright.
like, unjokingly though,
Mm-hmm.
another perspective from other people is, I love it so much. It is, especially people who are from different backgrounds, like cultures and things. It's brilliant.
See, at some point, I should take you to Romania.
Absolutely. Honestly, I think I've already said this to you before, Alex, but like, if you are ever going back to Romania and you have a spare seat beside you, I will fucking go with you, hands down.
Fucking
without a shadow of a
road
doubt.
trip through Romania.
I don't have any
I
plans
wouldn't
to
take
go
a
to
road trip.
Romania.
I've heard what driving's like in Romania, and I don't want.
Nah, well, actually, my mum recently, I say recently, I think it was December or some shit. I don't know, but she drove all the way from here to Romania. It was
Oh,
like
God.
nine.
That sounds like a fucking baller road trip. I
It
want
was
to
like
do that.
it was a 2-day road trip.
Jesus.
She drove.
I want to
she
ride a
drove with
motorbike
Tasha
from
as well.
London to
She took
China.
Tasha with her.
One of my like bucket list things to do is to take a motorbike from London to China.
Jesus Christ.
Why?
That is a long. That's like a 7 hour. No, even longer than that.
7 hours, seven. No, there's several months. But you'd stop along the way. You'd plan places to go. So I'd want to go through like the Black Forest in Germany.
Yeah, like
maybe
Hold on a
head
minute,
down
Cameron.
and hit the
If
top
I just
of
said
Italy.
from here to Romania is 2 days, from here to China is not 7 hours.
No,
Maybe
no,
maybe
it's
7
not,
hours
yeah.
by
Well, it depends.
plane.
Yeah,
Is she
you
driving
just go the other
straight,
way.
like-
Maybe 7 hours by plane.
Just teleport, bro. What the fuck?
Are you telling me when you go off one side of the map, you don't appear on the other? You know what I mean?
Did he not set?
No. Just get your motorbike and just do /TP China.
Oh my god.
Okay, go shoot. Give us something to choke
Wow.
about.
Oh, Alex, you got a couple topics.
So we all have a job.
We do.
Some
did.
temporary,
Oh.
some temporary, some not, and some people don't. Cameron.
Well, I lost
also
mine
me.
recently, but yeah.
Yeah, I also lost mine recently.
Wait,
Nice.
what you mean the one before you moved?
Yeah, the one in Global Step. I lost that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't really lost. It was you had to leave it.
Well, no. I was still on the payroll, but someone else took over the company, so it all got mushed about. Yeah, that's weird.
But so we've all worked in the past, right? Surely we all have some funny fucking stories that happen at work, whether it's about us or about someone else or about something
Okay.
that happened in work.
One funny story each from work.
Okay. See, so I worked at Pizza Hut before, so I knew a lot of stuff. And I'm working at Pizza Hut again, but this time I'm not doing kitchen because it was too much pressure. So I did. I'm doing reception now, right? So I'm answering phone calls, people that come in, whatever, and then like about 400 boxes a day. And we'd there was this customer. He, put an order online, and he didn't pay for it, and it was delivered to this place, like a building of flats or whatever, and it was there was a reception there. So the pizza's made, and the driver goes to that place to deliver the pizza, and it's not been paid for, and there's no money left at reception. So the driver arrives there with the pizza, and he's like, looking. This is I assume because I don't actually know anything of this, but I assume he's looking around, and the guy isn't there. He's not picking up his phone either, and there's no money at reception. So he drives back, and the guy phones him up, and I can like hear Andy like kind of raising his voice a little bit. I'm like, oh, and that's how it all started. And then I get a phone call about 20 minutes later. I say phone call. The phone rings, and it's the guy, and he immediately goes, "Hello, can I speak to the manager, please?" So I'm like, "All right." So I turn around, and and the guy's like, and the manager is like, "Just tell him it's like 2128 by card." It's like he wants to speak. No, tell him 2128. I know who it is. It's like, okay, cool. I go put him back on hold. I was like, yeah, it's 2128. You pay by card, whatever. Like, no, can I speak to your manager, please? I was like, all right, fucking hell. So I put the phone back down. I was like, okay, he insists, buddy, he insists. So he comes up and he talks to the guy, and so he hasn't paid for the pizza. He hasn't put any money, but the pizza's still here and it's made. So he's having a heated argument. The guy's swearing at the manager. My manager's like raising his voice, like, "Don't swear at me," and stuff like that. And I was like right next to him, making like fucking boxes, and he just fucking goes, "Fuck you and take the money up your arse," and just closes the phone and leaves. And I'm just fucking laughing.
Free pizza. I mean, fuck it.
I don't know what happened because the pizza wasn't there anymore, so I don't know if he like re-delivered it or whatever, but I don't know. But
nabbed it.
That was fucking.
It was
funny.
a victory claim.
It's an interesting point though, like, because I had this conversation a little while ago. I've worked in the service industry pretty much all my life so far, like all the jobs I've had and things. I've worked, customer service, things like that, and there is only so much shit you can take from assholes.
Oh my god.
There is.
Yeah, there's a limit. Oh, man.
We're still people, and so many people come into like a cafe or they come into like Pizza Hut or whatever, and they don't see you as a person. You're a means to an end. You're a tool. You're gonna get me my food. No, I'm a
No, you're a tool.
See,
and it's like, no, sir.
No, I am a human being. You will treat me with the respect I treat you. All right.
That's kind of it. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't expect you to be like fucking offering me a coffee
Just
back.
because I'm Slavic doesn't mean I'm a fucking slave.
Wow. But like,
Excuse you.
yeah. What am I on about? Silly me. But like, there's only so much a person can take. How if it's one customer or if they've had a bad day and there's loads, and like people make mistakes. Like your manager there probably isn't going to get anything, like any kind of consequences from it.
Absolutely not.
But
It's
if
just
you
fucking
turned around
funny.
and said that to someone like at the front desk, you'd probably get some shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which, okay, fine, he's the manager, he's got authority, that's why he doesn't get in trouble. But I'm sure if you explained yourself to your manager, even if you didn't have the relationship with him that you clearly do, like, he'd probably understand.
Not that I would anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, some
I'm
people
not-
have a
I
not
don't-
as bad a temper as me.
Yeah, I don't really shout. I haven't shouted in ages though.
I get passive aggressive. That's
Yeah.
my biggest issue these days.
No, you're
is
just
that
a,
I've
you're just the
become
overall.
passive-aggressive.
If I had to label
Oh,
you
man,
with
that drives
one
me
word,
fucking mental.
if I had to label you as one,
no, genuinely, Cameron, I'm the annoying passive aggressive. I'm that guy who
Fuck.
words everything in such a way that you're like, it pains you to read it. I'm honestly a complete arse when it comes, especially if it's like over text as well, where I have enough time to sit there and be like, how can I get the most out of this?
Jesus Christ.
How can I make 3 words into 30?
Professional asshole.
It's so much fun though. Sorry, Alex, what were you saying?
if I could label you as one word, I'd just label you as the word cunt.
Wow. Fair enough.
Epic.
Yeah.
So, have you got a story then?
Me or Cameron? Cameron,
You.
go. Have you got a funny story?
well, I
Anything
mean,
entertaining?
I can tell
What
you
did you
about...
do?
Well,
Anything,
this,
anything interesting that happened while you had work?
Okay, well, my job was basically a QA tester. So I tested games, I tested gambling websites, and I tested Tumblr specifically. One thing that I have never used in my entire life and never will. But I was put on the project regardless. But that's
Wait,
not the
you
point.
tested gambling websites, so can you officially say yes? I own csgolottery.co.uk.
No. Yeah, I mean, it was actually the easiest job I've ever got. Because I was against one other dude who applied for the job there. And I was thinking, okay, right, I really gotta, upstage him. I gotta make sure that I know my shit. So I spent like ages like researching the company, and I spent ages like trying to figure out the best questions and stuff to ask. And then it comes down to the day, the guy comes in, and I recognize him, and I realize he's a furry from college. And I don't mean I mean he's literally a furry. So, and I'm like, okay, well, that could be interesting. So he comes in. His immediate first words are, yeah, I'm autistic and I don't get along with people, which are the greatest words you want to hear as a manager trying to hire somebody who works with people. So he's
Wait,
already...
hang on. So were you in the room for someone else's interview?
No. It was a group interview.
Oh, okay.
So it was just us two, though, because everyone else, well, I mean, they just didn't come in. So that's the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, yeah, I don't get along great with people. Just...
Did the guy just go, get out, you're hired?
Well, he's just kind of like, okay. And so, yeah. Long story short, I got the job.
Jim, that must suck. That must be so fucking, like, annoying. Like, imagine, like, working on something for 8 hours when you could have done something in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it was kind
Like
of...
you kind of look at that and you go, well, what the fuck was the point of that then?
Like,
I
I'll
can't
be
complain.
honest.
It's the best job
No.
I had.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm sure
I'll
if you
be honest
if you
in
move
it-
back,
in
you can maybe
interviews.
apply for it again.
Oh yeah, probably. Like I'm fully trained for it and everything. I was one of the best there. I was one of the best new starters there. So I'm sure they'd have no problem hiring me again. But
Damn, I want to fucking work there now.
yeah,
yeah, Cameron, you better hurry back, mate. Or
it's a very technical job, but it's a lot more writing than you think.
Never mind.
It's more writing than testing.
Never
is it
mind.
like reports then? Or
Yeah, it's like proper detailed reports of how to reproduce bugs and stuff. But it's one of the
Oh,
most
okay.
fun
That
jobs I've
sounds
ever
kinda
had
fun.
because I'm quite good at that sort of thing.
yeah, that
yeah,
sounds fun.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that job. It's to the point where I ended up like sort of writing bug reports in my free time. Like, and people quite appreciate that stuff, especially like games developers and things. Like, if you go onto like itch.io or something and find like games and stuff that people have made, and you can just write like little bug reports that people tend to enjoy because they can very quickly find a bug and fix it. So,
I mean,
it's
you
not
could
really much
probably
of a
make
fun.
a lot of money in that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not really much of a fun story, but it is interesting, I think.
That'll
To
do.
me, anyway.
That'll do. That's a good. It's alright.
No, it's good. I'm actually quite interested in that. Like, I relate in the sense of like you to the point at which you enjoyed your job enough to want to take it home.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty big. like,
That's basically low-key like turning a job, turning
Into
a
fun, yeah.
turning a passion into a hobby. That's
Yeah.
everyone's dream. That's basically what YouTube is 5 years ago.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now it's just
um,
more of a passion into hobby, into addiction, into schedule.
Yeah.
I don't have any individual funny like stories. Like, I have some interesting like interactions and stuff. Like, I used to work
Yeah,
at a
that one
restaurant.
interaction.
Yeah, that big burp one. I used to work at a restaurant for my very first job, and I got to this point where he'd leave me on my own to clean and stuff. And what I saw that as is, you're gonna leave me alone to take enough alcohol to poison myself.
Ow!
Nice.
Sorry, I just like jumped up and. Oh, my computer's making weird noises. Oh no! I'm sorry, Josh. Go on.
Alright, that's fine.
Oh fuck!
You do you, bro. Sounds like you hit yourself pretty fucking hard. How do you even manage that?
I just I got uncomfortable, so I thought, oh, I'm gonna readjust my legs. So I jumped up on my chair and just fucking brained myself.
Nice.
I do apologize. Go ahead.
Um, yeah, so he'd like leave me alone to do all the tidying up and stuff, and I saw that as an opportunity to steal lots of alcohol, which I did. I got almost every time he left me alone like that, I left there stumbling home. And yeah, as long as I like hid all the evidence pretty quickly and pretty well, we had a few fun ones. So I made really good friends with a lot of people who worked there with me because it's a very small kind of like restaurant. It was owned by one guy kind of deal.
Oh right.
And I had a couple of mates there, a couple of like lad types, and basically the idea was how drunk could you get on shift without the boss noticing? Or more importantly, the one that I most remember is so in the village we have food like festival each year.
All right.
We have a food festival and a Christmas fair. And this was the food festival, and me and this guy decided we'd meet up an hour before work, have a couple drinks, buy some drinks in co-op. So like we got a crate of Strongbow and some dark fruits. And then we downed as many of them as we could before shift, and then carried on drinking whilst on shift to see how drunk we could get during the shift without him noticing. And halfway through the shift, my boss goes, "Guys, you're both going to the toilet a lot." And we're like, no, we're not. We only been once or twice. He goes, no, you're going quite a bit. No, we're not, I promise. He's like, okay, fine. What we're actually doing is in the bathroom, we had like some coat hooks, and behind the coats we had put, which was on like a windowsill, we had put one of the dark fruits. And we kept every 5 minutes, we'd be like, oh, I'm just pop into the bathroom quickly. And we'd pop there, down as much of it as we could. The second it ran out, we'd grab one of the bags, put another one up, and we just kept drinking all night.
Oh my god.
Which was hilarious.
Did you find out?
That was a good fun. No, you never found out.
So how did you, if you don't mind me asking, how did you like lose your job?
So that one I lost.
Well, no, you quit, didn't you?
No, not that one. I kept thinking about quitting. I kept threatening to quit, and what ended up happening is I was paid.
Oh yeah,
the most
weren't you
out of
like
everyone who
threatening
worked
to
there.
quit? And he was like, no, you're the best one here.
Yeah. So according to him, I was like the best waiter he'd ever had because he loved the fact that I wasn't a dick. But
Wow.
basically, his contract ended on like the ownership of the restaurant that they're building. And when that happened, the new guy took over. It closed down for a month, and the new guy was the old owner of the restaurant.
Oh, right. So
And I worked with him for like a couple weeks. The pay was okay, but he went back on a bunch of promises he gave me, and also told me that I wasn't dedicated enough because I asked to take 2 weeks off for my exams at college.
How fucking
And I was
cute.
like,
Wow.
yeah, okay. I don't know if that shows a lack of dedication to you and your tiny weeny tapas bar, buddy, but you do you. And yeah, so I left. Fuck
yeah,
him.
fair enough.
But the job I went into after that was fucking awful.
Was that the one where you worked like?
It was the petrol station.
Yeah.
Dude, I could
Oh
not
lord,
advise against a work like
I can't imagine a
hours of
worse
Wasn't
place.
it? Wasn't it? You'd start at like 5 and finish at 2, or you'd start. You start at 5 a.m. finish at 2, or you start at 2 finish at 10.
yeah. So we needed to be in at 5:30, which gave us half an hour, which we didn't get paid for that half hour. We had to be in at 5:30 to set everything up, ready to be open at 6 o'clock on the dot,
Oh man.
and we'd finish at 2:30 p.m. Or you would start at 2 and finish at 10 p.m. But it was basically just 8 hours of sitting there twiddling your thumbs doing fuck all. And I'm someone who needs to be quite engaged with what they're doing, and honestly that was
Didn't I
not
call you
it.
at some point and we just spoke for like 5 minutes while you were serving like people?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Those people are gonna keep coming to get petrol if I call them cunts to their faces. Like,
That's actually a really good point though. Like a busy job is so much better than a boring ass. Like,
honestly, is.
fucking hell.
That was why I enjoyed like the cafe work, for example. Like if I wasn't making coffees and serving people, I was prepping food. If I wasn't prepping food, I was making food. If I wasn't making food, I was making coffee. And it was that constant cycle. Or I was cleaning, or there's always something else to do. And honestly, that petrol station was fucking awful. I hated it so much. Like
Yeah,
there were some nice things. The people were nice. I mean, geez, fucking. I still chat to my old boss, because he does like streaming and stuff.
That's cool.
And he's grown massively since I met him onwards. He's grown massively and stuff and followings and things. But yeah, like I fucking hated that job. It's awful.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But you know, work's work, innit?
Yeah.
Money's
Well.
money. You gotta be paying the bills.
That's true. That's true. You know, money's money. But hey.
That's why
man.
now, like, I'm doing weekend work at football club. I'm working at a bar, and this is the first time I've worked at a bar and enjoyed it as well.
That's good.
But yeah,
you can
it's
always
really
take this
good.
experience in other places.
That's kind of it. It's something else to put on the CV. It's like, yeah, I did this.
Yeah.
Man,
But-
I gotta get a job soon. Like, fucking,
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah,
pay
man.
for a house and everything.
That's true.
Jesus.
That's true. But yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Well, that's my biggest problem. Like, because I got laid off my last job, last week, and now it's like I've got rent to pay at the end of the month. How am I gonna do that? Where's that money coming from?
Oh, do you pay rent to your parents?
No, I don't. I moved out of my parents' place.
Oh, damn.
Like
and
half a year
into
ago.
yeah. What was it, November? And now I live with my mate and his parents.
Oh shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I
That's-
pay them rent.
That's fair. That's fair.
But you know, I'm not scrimping and scraping. I've got savings up and stuff. It's just I feel like I'm wasting my time because I don't have a job. You know, I feel like I could be earning money and I'm not, because there are things I want to be saving up for. Like I want to be moving into my own place in like a year's time, kind of thing, or I want to be going traveling, going on holiday, taking my girlfriend out, getting a car. You know, there are things I should be and could be saving up for to progress myself, and I'm not, because I'm sat here doing nothing instead. And I don't like being unproductive. That's something I've realized. However lazy I am as a person, I hate being unproductive.
Yeah, oh man, doing nothing really annoys me, but at the same time, I also like, my energy levels these days are just, just so low. It's hard
Yeah.
to like.
Yeah,
Oh,
mine
man.
are fucking low as well, but
Is it energy or is it like a lack of motivation?
lack of motivation.
both.
I have energy, it's lack of motivation.
Because like, it's probably just a sign that you need to find another hobby or find something you enjoy getting up. Like you have to give yourself a reason to get out of bed in the mornings.
Well, yeah, that's oof. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing stuff about that. I'm working it out. I'll be on it. I'll be on it back soon in no time.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it should be fine.
Okay.
Anyway, well, thank you so much for listening. This has been another perspective. We hope you've enjoyed, and make sure to, you know, keep a check, because we'll be
we'll
putting
be
more
uploading
out.
like a weekly, bi-weekly or something.
Hopefully.
It'll all be good.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, and good day.
see you next time. Bye.
See ya.